how and where to buy a house. Thanks for choosing to watch this video. If you don't know me, my name is Seth. I'm a realtor in Mississauga and I work in Greater Toronto area in Canada. I'm going to explain all the things that you need to know in order to successfully buy a house. The first and foremost thing you need to do is hire a realtor. There are reasons for that. Realtors, they work with professional organizations who already have official mortgage agents, official real estate lawyers, photographers, videographers, builders if renovations are needed in the house, home stagers, home inspectors, etc., etc. They have already worked with them, they know them, and you can ask them for any services for buying a house or even selling your house. First thing you do is get a pre-approval. Now pre-approval is done by the lender. You go to the bank, you fill out some forms, and the bank would check your income and they would tell you how much worth of a house can you afford. Usually bank finance a house worth 4 to 6 times of your household income. This could be different because banks, they have different policies. There are B lenders, there are C lenders. B and C lenders are the ones that have more of a lax qualification criteria for the buyer, but they charge you more fees and interests. If you want just an idea to know how much worth of property you can buy, multiply your annual income, your spouse's annual income, and someone who is living with you or going to live in the house by 4. This would be the minimum price of the house you can buy. Now, mortgage agents could be helpful because they can go around and shop for you. They can go to different lenders, B lenders, C lenders, but this is quite rare. Most of the mortgage agents, they work for 1 or 2 lenders. Best mortgage agent would be the one who can go to all the lenders, which include banks, B lenders, and C lenders, and find you the best deal. When talking about mortgages, from December 2024, the mortgage rules are being changed. Now you can afford to buy a house worth $1.5 million without putting in 20% down payments. Earlier, you had to put in 20% down payments if the house was above $1 million. Now, CMHC, Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, is offering mortgage default insurance or mortgage loan insurance on the houses worth more than 1 million up till 1.5 million. They haven't announced the rules on their website yet, but most probably you will need 8 to 9% of down payment for this kind of a house, which comes up to $125,000. So if you have $125,000 in savings in your bank, you have an option to buy a house under $1,500,000. The benefit of having CMHC mortgage loan insurance is that you get lower interest rates and your mortgage payments are lower too. You need to have some cash for the closing costs. The closing costs, which include lawyer fees, title insurance, home appraisal, etc., etc., they can cost you around 4% of the price of the house. Once you have sorted out all these things, do not rush to buy a house. You have to look for the property that suits you. If you have kids, you might have to have a house that is close to schools, or if you have older parents with you, you might be looking for some parks around your house. You have to make sure that there are grocery stores in close proximity too. Now see how big is your family, how many rooms or bedrooms you can work with. If you are a family of 4, are 3 beds okay for you, 4 bed house is okay for you, or 5 bedroom house is more towards your convenience. You have to do your homework on that. There are different type of houses. First is detached house that gives you highest level of privacy. In a detached house, you're not bothered by neighbor. Sometimes neighbors are moving in and out, or there's some construction work or some maintenance work is going on in their house. You never get bothered by the noises coming to your house because your house is detached from other buildings. These detached houses are like mansions, bungalows, multiple storied buildings. This is the best type of house if you want freedom to customize your house or you're looking for value appreciation throughout the years. Unless you and your neighbor start fighting on the common fence that you share, everything else is pretty much under control. Then comes the semi-detached houses. Semi-detached houses are lower in prices. The low price comes with the trade-off from curb appeal and privacy from detached house. Of course, semi-detached houses are beautiful, but detached houses are built to increase the curb appeal of the house. Semi-detached houses are built to share things with the neighbors. Some of the times if you need to make any changes or repairs or any kind of customization to your house, you might be knocking at the doors of your neighbor to ask for permission. Apart from that, semi-detached house is a very good option for someone who is looking for a big space and very low maintenance. Third option is townhouses. Townhouses are for the families who are on tight budget. They are cheaper than semi-detached houses and give you better sense of community if you are a people's person. Some people just love to talk and meet with other people because townhouses are attached structures, so neighbors are closer to each other. One drawback of townhouses is that there are not much outdoor spaces. Even in indoor, townhouses are not very spacious. They offer no privacy because they are attached from both sides. They are sometimes called row houses, but these drawbacks are not as big as the one that townhouses do not have a very good resale value. There's another aspect of the townhouses that you cannot make much changes into it. You have to take permission from homeowners association, so people prefer not to make any changes and their maintenance cost is low. Except for the fees associated with homeowners association, there are not much maintenance expenses for townhouses. Then comes condos, which are the hot favorite option for working professionals or even couples who haven't started a family yet or who have a family that is very small with young kids. Condos are the least expensive housing option for people because it's not only the price that matters. These condos provide amenities, utilities, maintenance, security. So you do not have to leave your house and go to some other place to get these facilities. This reduces the cost. Hundreds of people are living in the community, so the condo owners are part of a bigger community. But you still have a small space. In most of these condos, when you open the entrance door, you could see the end of the property. Condo prices also do not appreciate as much as semi-detached house or detached houses. All things considered, condo is still the best option for someone who is buying their property for the first time or downsizing. Once you have decided what type of property you want to purchase, now is the time to look at the market conditions and your buying schedule. You might be getting a new job, your children are leaving the school for the college. There could be many different situations which give you the most convenient time for you to buy the house. This is your buying schedule. The market conditions could be different. They go up and go down. If there is a house that is sold in one locality at a high price, it has a potential to raise the property prices of all the houses in that locality. Similarly, the houses could be cheap in some area for short time period. For example, in September, the average house price was $1,107,000. And in October it was $1,135,000. There's a difference of $28,000 in just 1 month. Now what would you do? If your schedule is to buy a house in October, you're better off buying the house in September or in August when the house prices were actually $1,074,000. So the best strategy is to match your buying schedule with the market conditions. This could land you the best deal in the market. While choosing a house, where you buy a house really matters. For example, let's go to Kitchener-Waterloo area, which is on the west of Toronto. It's a smaller city, but it is a tech area. It's like a Silicon Valley of Canada. Kitchener has many tech companies there, including Google. If somebody is in tech industry or engineer, that could be a best option for that person. But look at the prices here. For a 4-bedroom house, the prices start from $400,000. $400,000 is too low for Kitchener because probably this house is very rundown and it is not a very charming house in this matter. So you have to trade off on the price for it. But on the average, the house prices are on $700,000 to $800,000 range for a 4-bed, 3-bath house. These are mostly 1,500 to 2,500 square feet. But if you look at the similar type of house in Oshawa, which is on a city on the east side of Toronto past Whitby, you can find better options there for the same type of houses with $100,000 a discount, like 4-bedroom house, 3-bath, very nice house, spacious house, 2000 in 2000 square feet, is available between $625,000 to $700,000. Well, in Oshawa, in Kitchener, it was as high as $800,000. Similarly, you can come, so Oshawa in this case is the cheaper as compared to Kitchener. But if you come to Mississauga, which is on the east, on the west of Toronto, immediately west of Toronto, it's a city in the Peel region. The house prices are really high. It's like 4 beds, 4 bath is $900,000. They are the similar type of houses that you can buy for $700,000 in Oshawa and $800,000 in Kitchener, is $1 million in Mississauga. So the point I am trying to make here is wherever you buy a house matters. You may be in a financial sector, maybe working in downtown Toronto, and you require to go to downtown Toronto on a regular basis, on weekly basis, or monthly basis. So you end up thinking that if I'm going to buy a house, better be a house inside Toronto or very close to Toronto. But if you think outside the box and you're willing to commute, there are many other options available to you. For example, you can go to Burlington, Hamilton, even in Niagara Falls, St. Catherine. There are new train lines being made, new projects are in the process, which will become very convenient for people who are going to downtown Toronto for work on daily basis. People are buying properties in these areas and they might go really high in price when that train line comes into operation. This is just one example. Of course, there are many other considerations that go into making of the decision to buy a house in certain area. While buying a house, there are important things to check in that house. The foundations, the roof, windows, plumbing, electrical systems. For a resale house, these things definitely need to be checked, and most probably by them professional. Even if you are buying a new build, you got to know about your electrical system, plumbing, in order to know the quality of things your builder has used in the house. In the case of resale value, if you find any faults or find anything related to foundation or roof or window, you have a really good bargaining chip in the price of the property. Driveways need to be paid attention to. Are they shared with or separate from the neighbors? Is there any repair done on it, or is there any repair needed to be done there? This also steer the price negotiation into a different direction if there are any repairs needed on the driveways. If it matters to you, try to find out if there is overnight parking allowed on the street or not. In many cases, homeowners have to invite their guests for parties, for celebrations. In those cases, having overnight parking permission in the street is convenient. How good is a house? You can guess that by touching it. Handles, door locks, latches, windows, doors. They tell a lot of stories how this property was maintained. When you're visiting a house you want to buy, you have to know, and most of the buyers know that most of the time, what are they going to put in the house. So when you're walking around, you have to be checking the width of the doorways, the walkways, so that the things that you want to bring in, like furniture and appliances, they could be moved in and out easily in that house. In the kitchen, check the countertops, their color scheme, check the eat-in area. You have to pay attention to pantry space. In a house, anything can be stored anywhere, but edibles, even canned foods, cannot go anywhere but pantries. So pantry space need to be examined in the kitchen. The living room is the most appealing room for any guests who would come into your house. Pay attention to the tiles, pay attention to the floor, pay attention to the fireplaces. The natural light coming into the living room is really a blessing. For the bathrooms, check the water outlets, water pressure, and the shower heights. Floor space is very important for bedroom. If the bedroom doesn't have enough floor space, it cannot be considered full bedroom. Pay attention to the number of windows and the type of flooring in the bedroom. There's a classic checklist for the basement. Number 1, evidence of flooding and moisture. Finished or unfinished? Is it a walkout basement? How many number of windows are there? Are the bedrooms up to the code? There are different codes in different municipalities for the bedrooms in the rooms in the basement. You have to check that code. Headroom available in the basements. Some people are tall, some people are short. In some of the basements, tall people cannot walk around straight. The last thing to check is the storage in the basement near the furnace. These are the things that will help you buy your dream home or forever home. If you have any questions, feel free to connect. Thanks for watching.